What's going on, everybody? I want to talk about why we as black people should consider learning a new African language and what African languages would be worth taking the time to learn. And the reason why I think we should definitely learn at least one African language, even if it's not us, it could be our children. Because some of us, we're I guess we would say we're too old, too set in our ways or we don't have the time to learn another language. And we do know that children have the ability to pick up on new languages very quickly. And we tend to, in America, at least in America, we tend to gear our second language towards Spanish, something like that. And the reason why I think we should reconsider is because English itself it's a European language. Also, Spanish is a European language. People tend not to think about that, but the Spanish language is a European language. Okay, so all you Latinos speaking Spanish, none of them are speaking their mother tongue. They're all speaking a European language. Okay, and in language comes power. There's power in language. I can know what you say. I can know what you mean. I can hear the nuances of your tones and all that. Language has a lot of power. It's like magic. And right now we are under the spell of English, right? We all speak English. Everybody speak English or they speak Spanish. It's the language of the dominant group, and it's the language of money. All right. It's the language of commerce. Everybody who wants to make money in the Western Hemisphere, we speak English, correct? But the thing is, the new dynamic that's coming. I don't know if people are really paying attention, but the new dynamics is Africa's on the rise. Okay, and if you want to do business, in Africa, it would be smart to learn a language. And if you don't learn it, at least encourage your children, put your children in classes, let them learn a language, so that they can communicate with people on the motherland in the mother tongue. Because remember, a language is something that was stolen from us as well. Okay, I did a previous video where I said that we need to go back and reconnect ourselves with our culture. That's something that was stolen from us. Our language was stolen from us. Our religions were stolen from us. All these things we can get back now. In the age of information, we can get all that back. Okay, so with that being said, the languages I think that we should learn for business-wise mainly, but also, for a sense of culture and connectivity, and so we can express ourselves the way we were meant to. Because other languages, they have more to their alphabet, or they have different like tonal tones. They have more ways of expressing themselves than we do as English speakers, that we can't actually understand because we speak English and we only know it from our point of view. But one language is Yoruba. Yoruba, the reason why I say Yoruba is because, yet again, Nigeria is one of the most populous countries in the world. And the language of Yoruba, from the Yoruba people, is significant enough to where if you learned that language, it would help you do business in that country in certain areas and talk to certain people. The second language is Igbo. Okay, you should definitely learn or consider learning Igbo. Yet again, another Nigerian language from the Igbo people. They are very savvy and smart business people. And if you want to do some major business, I'm talking about like tech, anything major, modern, you're probably going to be dealing with some Igbos. Okay, it'd be really cool if you knew how to speak Igbo, and it would go a long way, for African American to learn that, Igbo. And so Yoruba and Igbo in Nigeria, which is the most populous country, meaning they have the most amount of people. That means Nigeria will eventually be a superpower once they get themselves together politically, economically, they're right there. So when it happens, you want to be a part of that. If not, you'll be left behind. Okay. Another major language you should consider is Kiswahili. All right, Kiswahili is probably the biggest, well, the most spoken language in Africa. Okay, it encompasses the majority of the east coast of Africa down to the south. Like, it's the most widely spoken language, and definitely in the future, the East African Federation, which is something you will be hearing about in the future, whenever that gets done. You know, that's a major economic block that's being developed right now. If you learn Kiswahili, you will be able to move about in those circles, you know, a lot smoother. And actually, Kiswahili will be a lot easier to learn than Yoruba and Igbo, because Kiswahili is formatted more similar to the way we speak in English, and it's not a tonal language. You know, tonal languages are harder for people, English Latin speakers, to speak, because it involves tones that change the meaning of words. Okay, in Yoruba and Igbo, I think they both have tonal portions to their language, which can make it difficult. And the format of how a sentence is structured can sometimes be difficult as well. But Kiswahili would be the easiest. So, and Kiswahili, there's more resources out there to learn Kiswahili. A lot of the language apps have Kiswahili. Or the major language apps have Kiswahili for you to learn. And you can just take some lessons. You don't have to know everything, you know, just some keywords, some business words, some travel words, you know, just some things to be able to get about, you know, go about, you know, traveling around these areas and speaking with the local people. Same with Yoruba and Igbo. Yoruba and Igbo, not so much. If you notice, most of the apps that you use, or the web software, are all geared towards European languages. Why? Because they want Europeans in America to learn their languages. It connects them culturally. So we also need to do the same thing. Instead of just learning their languages, we should learn ours. You know, to reattach that to us, you know, as black folks, so we can speak a second language. You know, black folks are very talented in learning multi-languages. Most Africans are polywogs. They speak English. I was about to say American. They speak English. They speak their traditional languages, and they speak some other language. All right, they just do it like it's nothing. We can also do the same thing. So definitely, Kiswahili, Yoruba, and Igbo are two major languages that are going to be major languages utilized in the African economy, and it's all about the economy. It's always been about the economy. So I don't dogs, I don't know what they're barking at. But another thing you could do, let's say, you know, you don't want to learn how to speak another language, you don't have time, you think it's too hard. One other thing you could learn is Pidgin English. Now, we have our own version of Pidgin English in America. It's very similar to West African Pidgin English. And if you can understand the way the people in Louisiana talk when they speak theirs, or the Creole, or you know, or the Geechee of South Carolina. I think that's South Carolina or North Carolina. It's an island, I think, but I think it's South Carolina. If you can understand Caribbeans, how they speak, if you have a propensity to pick up English in different tones, then Pidgin English should be very easy for you. I actually understand Pidgin English. There's a lot of movies, Nigerian movies, African movies that you can watch where they're speaking Pidgin English. It's just a broken style of English, and most people on the West Africa, you know, if you can speak Pidgin English, you can pretty much understand all of them when they speak it. You know, that'll be something that's not quite learning another language, but that's learning how to speak English in another way, which is almost like its own language. So think about that, you know, as an alternative if you don't want to learn an actual language. But you definitely should encourage your children. Make it so your next generation or the generation after that is a polywog. Make sure they know African language. Just start connecting the dots. Start putting the pieces to the puzzle until we get this whole picture, where we get our culture back, we get our languages back, and we get everything back that was stolen from us, because that's important. If you think that's important as an African American, if you think it's important, then you should definitely pursue these endeavors. All right, that's all I wanted to say. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. All right, peace.